Welcome to today's session on Improve by Improv. My name is Hudson+Griffin, and I'm here to represent Improv U, and I am an improv master. I want to start off with a story that will help you understand a construct for which the improv exercises are based upon. This is the story. There were 3 employees asked by their boss to do a very important task. They were told to go find a rock. Now you might think that's mundane, go find a rock, but be honest with me. If your boss is paying you and he tells you to go find a rock, what are you going to do? You're going to go find a rock, right? That's exactly what they did. So the first employee brought back this nice rock. And the boss said, "Fabian, that is a fine rock, but that is not the rock that I am looking for." Oh, so sad. Too bad, Fabian. The next employee found this fabulous rock. Look at that rock. She was so happy. When Melissa showed this to her boss, the boss said, "Melissa, that is a fabulous rock. And I really think that you worked hard to get that rock and bring it to us. However, we cannot afford that rock. It is way outside of our budget." Too bad, Melissa. And then there was the third employee who brought this rock to the boss. And the boss saw the rock and he exclaimed, "This is the rock I've been looking for. This is perfect. Look at the colors, look at the texture, look at the context, it's beautiful. Johnny, where did you find this fabulous rock?" But before Johnny could say a single word, Melissa jumped right in and said, "Johnny, you big dummy, that's not a rock. That's a coprolite." "A copper what?" said Johnny. "A coprolite," said Melissa. "You know, as in fossilized feces." And the boss was not too impressed with the fossilized feces, so he said, "Johnny, I changed my mind. That's not the rock." And there you have Johnny in a fit of rage. And look at Melissa. Melissa is a bit happy about all this. But in the end, what do you have? You have 3 unhappy employees. And why are they unhappy? Why are they frustrated? Well, because of a lack of communication. And you can tell there was a lack of communication when the boss says, "Go find a rock," and you don't ask any questions, and the boss didn't give you any details. Sure, there's going to be frustration. So the boss didn't communicate very well. The next was a lack of collaboration. This was supposed to be a team. And, well, even though there were 3 people, they didn't work together. They didn't communicate very well. The only time there was communication was at the very end, when Melissa talked to Johnny and said, "Hey, that's a coprolite." And then finally, there was a lack of clarity. The 3 employees didn't ask a single question about the rock. They didn't know anything about the rock. They didn't know what the purpose was. They didn't know how much time they had to find the rock. They didn't know if there was a budget for the rock. There were plenty of questions that they should have asked, but did they? No. So they weren't very clear when they went out on this mission to find the rock. And this brings us back to find me a rock. This is a construct that I'm using to display some of the improv exercises that we can do that can help you to be better at doing your job. Let's start off with communication. Hey, everybody, take this blank sheet of paper, and I want you to fold it in half. That's good. Just fold it in half. And now, rip off the upper right-hand corner. That's it. Very good. And now fold it again. and rip off the lower left-hand corner. Very good, very good. Now, let's take a look at some of your examples. Let me take a look at this one. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting example. Let's take a look at another one. Let's have another one. Thank you. All right, and with this one we have 3 holes in the middle. 1 hole and 3 holes. Now everybody got the same instructions, didn't you? But we have different examples. Let's look at one more. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Now, what instructions were you listening to? This looks almost like a snowflake. So here are the examples. 3 different examples, all the same instructions, but different examples of how the paper would be torn. Why is that? Let's go back to the principle. Go find a rock. You have no guidelines, no instructions, nothing to go on. The only thing you had to go on, just like these 3 employees, is your own good intentions. But let's look at another example. Now, take the second piece of paper, the one with these lines on it. And I want you to take where it says fold A and fold it away from you. Now, I want you to listen to these instructions and follow them exactly. And we should all come out with the exact same thing. All right, so you see this? Now, I want you to take it so that you see fold A, just like I'm looking at fold A. Take it so that you're looking at fold A. And now, take fold B and fold it towards the center line, just like this. Do that on both sides. So now, you should have this. You should see Improv U on the other side. So look at Improv U and take the entire thing and then fold it in half along the center line. And you should have something that looks like this. Okay, everybody? And now, take fold C and fold it along line C. Do that on both sides. And now open it up. And what do you have? That's right. You have a paper airplane. Everybody should have the same thing. Shall we see if they can fly? Go ahead. Let's go ahead and see what... Okay, all right. Yes, good, good, good. Very good. Very good. And watch it, you might put somebody's eye out. So this is your first exercise. Everybody got the same airplane based on the same instructions, but now you had a little bit more explicit. If you had more directions in finding that rock, then you would know exactly what to get. There'd be no doubt. And we will do one more exercise, and then we will